Hello, I am Nick Gulch here with Tom Cole for Steeler Taylor Under the Hood. So, what was your first car?
That's a good question. I like Nick Marconi's description of the old Delta 88. Wow, that's a great South End car. I grew up in the South End, so I know about those cars back in the day. First car was a Mustang, and a little blue Mustang. Always liked it, and then something happened. Well, my girlfriend, who became my wife of 50 or 49 years, she asked if she could borrow my Mustang. I love the car. You know, it was one of those deals where you love the car. And so she was going to pick me up from work because she used the car that day to run errands and whatever. And I'm waiting, and I hear, when I'm waiting, I was at the Lucas County Recreation Center, and I'm waiting to be picked up. And I hear this car, boom, 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 boom. I'm thinking to myself, boy, some poor sap's got a bad muffler, you know? Well, that poor sap ended up being me. Karen had run over a curb, ripped out the muffler on the car, so I was the poor sap. So that was my first car, was the muffler.
What color was it?
Or was the Mustang? Oh, it was blue. It was kind of a light blue, but it was a cool car. I liked it.
Do you still have it?
No, I wish, as you know, referring to Nick's point, I wish I did have it, because if you had it today, it would be worth a lot. I mean, like a lot.
What vehicle do you drive now?
I drive a Santa Fe, Hyundai Santa Fe. I love it. It's been great. I've been driving it now for 3.5 years. Never a problem with it. Zero problems. Smooth ride. Safe. I love the car. Yeah.
What are your dream car to drive or collect?
You know, I was never in that genre of dream cars. My dream car, Nick, was, did it start? You know, I just wanted a car that would start, not cause me problems, and then that became my dream car. And I got to say, the Santa Fe has been one of the best cars I've ever had.
How long have you been working here at Taylor Automotive Group?
I'm going on 7 years, believe it or not. So yeah, it's been a great experience. As you'll find out, you know, we're honored to have you here with your internship, and I hope you have the same experience that all of us have. Steve Taylor and Mr. Taylor Sr. have created an environment of work here that is unbelievable. I mean, you're starting to meet some of the folks. You know, there's a friendliness, there's a how can we help you, you know, attitude, and it makes it. And I think you just interviewed Nick. You would wholeheartedly agree. It's an incredible place to work. I've not had a bad day in 7 years at Taylor. You know, and when you tell people that, they don't. Oh, what do you mean? I know it's the truth. And Nick always undersells what he does. He helps us, the ambassadors, so much. We wouldn't be able to do the work we do in the community without Nick's help. He does a great job for us.
What is your job title here at Taylor?
A lot of people have been asking that, Nick. They want to know, what do you actually do? No, it's called Community Outreach Coordinator. And it's the greatest job in the world, because what I get to do is reach out to people in the community, or they now reach out to me, because we've been doing it for a long time. How can we help you? What are your needs? You know, we can't do everything for everybody, but we try to, you know, will this help you? Will this help you? And again, back to Nick and Steve, they set up this studio. We've done so much good work with this studio by bringing people in to interview them about their events, about their company, about what's going on in the community. We have our own little TV station here, and the videos that our gang puts out, China and Corey, which you work with them. They put out first-class videos. I'd say they always talk about a unique selling position in companies. That's one of our unique selling propositions, is we can do videos that nobody's doing. I mean, other car dealerships try to do them, but nobody does what we do video-wise. And then I've noticed I know Nick would probably back me up on this, our salespeople seeing all the videos that we do, now they're doing their own videos, you know, talking about their job and what they do and why they should come out and say, I'm telling you, there's nobody that does what we do in that regard. So it's been, and you know video work, you're great at it.
Yeah.
It can be powerful, right? It done right, it's powerful.
Yes, definitely. What's your favorite thing about working here at Taylor?
I like the humor. Have you noticed we laugh a lot? You know, now sometimes Nick picks on me and I start crying. But when I start crying, he usually stops. You know, he says, "Okay, enough." No, you know what? We can joke with each other. We have fun. I've never worked in an atmosphere where we get the work done, but it's relaxed and we have fun, and you can't beat that. I mean, I find people are more effective if they're not tense, if they're not anxious, if they're not looking over their shoulder and worried about, hey, my boss is, I don't know if he's happy or not, or if you're relaxed and comfortable, you can do great work, and I think that's the attitude of Taylor.
Well, I know you worked at BCSN for a couple of years, and I met you when I was in high school.
Yeah, I did. Well, I did 22 years at BCSN, and I'm back. I just do some. They asked me to do some emeritus kind of. I do some special interviews for them now, and a special game here or there. Steve allows me to do that, which is very kind of him. But and that was a great experience. I mean, I was treated well, but I've never worked at a place as good as Taylor.
I just wanted to bring up something. When I was, I think, probably 8 or 9, I met you at Sammy's Brunch, if you remember that restaurant.
Yeah.
And I met you there, and I didn't know you that well yet, and I think I just remember that yesterday. I'm like, where did I meet Tom first?
Yep.
And I'm like,
Yep.
that was so cool.
Our roads have crossed a number of times.
Yes.
And you did, if I remember correctly, we've interviewed a number of times. We interviewed on BCSN at Channel 13, on It Matters in Toledo, you and your dad.
And also on Ensenero.
Yes, and I think that you were also, weren't you calling baseball for Whitmer?
Yes, I was the PA announcer.
Yeah. So you've really, and then I've seen you do interviews for the Walleye. I've seen you. Have you done Mud Hen interviews, dude?
I'm been trying to apply to do that, but right now it's not really that.
Okay, but I saw you do Walleye interviews,
Yes.
which I thought were really cool. You're pursuing your occupation, Nick, as a broadcaster the right way. You interview as many people as you can, and it's totally a repetition industry. If you do it enough, right?
Yeah.
It becomes muscle memory, and you just get so good at it, it becomes so natural. You have a really nice style about you anyways. You're friendly to people, you put people in a feel-good position, so you'll always get good interviews. So, you're doing it right.
What do you know, if you would be a salesperson here, Taylor, which car would you think would be the best one to sell?
Well, I would be selling the Santa Fe. I want you to do the film when we talk about doing the cars. I like the Santa Fe down there that has the, and Nick could tell me what that is, the kind of dull brown,
Matte.
What's it called?
Matte finish.
Matte finish. I like that. I don't know what it is I like about it, but there's something I like about it. I don't know if it's reminds me. I don't know what it reminds me of, but I like that finish or lack of finish, I guess. So I like that brown Santa Fe down there. To be honest, yeah.
What is your favorite color of cars?
We have 2 white cars now. I like white. I think if you keep it clean, it looks great. Keeping it clean can be a problem, but white does look good. If you run through the wash, white looks pretty good. Now, if you don't ever wash it, then that's a problem,
What is your favorite restaurant here in Toledo?
Nick is a gourmet. Mr. Marconi, who was on here before me, he is a gourmet cooker, and he can do food and all kinds. I'm not. I'm a grill guy. I put on hamburgers and hot dogs and steak, and that's all I can do. But I like more casual dining. I like Bar Louie. I like to sit outside on a nice night at Bar Louie with their patio. I think it's one of the best patios. I like the Basil's at the mall down here. They have an outside patio, and they have a pizza, which Nick's a pizza man too. It's called the Kevin Bacon Pizza. The actor Kevin Bacon, and it's it's loaded with bacon. It's a great pizza. I like that place. What else? I'm Mancy's Old Steakhouse. I mean, if you want to get a good steak, Mancy's on Phillips, one of their good steaks and a baked potato, you're as good as it can get. So those are some of mine.
What are your favorite hobbies outside of working here?
Well, this job it allows you to do so many different things. We do video, interviews, emceeing. We're doing so many different things, so I don't have a real need to do a whole lot, but I do like to write. So I say writing would be a hobby that I enjoy, yeah.
Oh, speaking of writing, you have 2 books out, don't you?
Just I've done 3. This is the 4th one, and Mr. Marconi did the cover for my book, which he did it right on his computer, and it's gotten really wonderful People don't like the book, they like the cover. You know, I don't know, but he did a great job. I'll show you the cover that he did. It's really cool. The book's called Black in the Pocket, and Nick did a cover for it that was great. But yeah, it's just out. It's done really well. I mean, I don't mean it in a bragging way, but it's done well on Amazon. I think the first week, Amazon breaks books into classifications, right? So when ours came out the first week, it's a football book. There were 800,000 football books on Amazon, currently on Amazon. So the first week we were ranked 55 out of 800,000. That's not too bad. The second week we ranked 100. We're still hanging in, you know. And the third week we went to 200, and then we jumped back to 100. So we've been very fortunate. We've been in the, you know, that's a lot of books to compete against.
If you were a new crayon, what would be your name and based on you?
What would be my name of a crayon? Greeny Green. I like green. I like the color green. I was always a Joe Namath. You're too young for Joe Namath, but Joe Namath, the New York Jets fan. So Greeny Green, I would be a real Kelly Green. I like Kelly Green.
Is chili a soup or is in cereal also? Is there both?
Well, I heard you. These are great questions. I like these questions. I heard Nick go through his diatribe on what it is. I think chili, you know, could be a soup. I don't think I'm opposed to that, Nick. I think it could be. Yeah, I'm in on that.
Oh, cereal. Do you think?
The cereal one, I do not think it's a soup. I think anything you put milk in pretty much takes you out of the soup menu to me. I don't know.
If you could have one superpower, what would it be and why?
Okay, I would like to read people's minds. On one hand, that would be very cool. On another hand,
All right, so my last question is a hot dog or sandwich?
yeah, this is a controversial question, I think, Nick, and I think it's a great question. I heard Mr. Marconi's response, and he said it's not a sandwich, but I'm going to tell you it's a sandwich, and coming from a guy who's done it. You get 2 pieces of bread, you cook your hot dog, hopefully with casing on it. Those are, to me, the better hot dogs. You split it down the middle, you fillet it on the bread, you put on your cheese, you put on your ketchup, you put on your mustard, slap the other piece of bread on top of it. And Nick, what you have there is a hot dog sandwich, and I'm backing that 100%. Oh, and some onions. I chop up some onions on that too. I've made those a long time. That's a hot dog sandwich.
All right, that is it for this edition of Taylor Under the Hood with Tom Cole. Thanks for joining us.
Hey, thanks so much. Great to be with you, Nick.